Namaste. Welcome to the sixth edition of the Global Festival of Oneness, celebrating the life and works of Adi Shankara and organized by Indica Moksha. My name is Anuradha and I'm the host of this session. Let us start with a prayer. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. We're very pleased to have with us Swami Shantivratananda, and he's going to talk to us on the topic from body, mind to consciousness, the spiritual evolution. Before we get on to the talk, I'd like to introduce the speaker. Swamiji belongs to the Ramakrishna order and is presently serving as the minister in charge of Ramakrishna Vedanta Center, Dublin. Prior to that, he was serving at Sri Ramakrishna Ashram, Mysore, in various capacity, mainly attending to the youth programs and other activities. He was initiated by Reverend Swami Ranganathananda Maharaj, and he joined the order in 2004, soon after his graduation. He took his final monastic vow in 2014 and underwent an extensive training in spiritual pursuits. Swamiji is an erudite scholar who was awarded a doctorate for his thesis, Swami Vivekananda's Concept of Man, an analytical study from the University of Mysore. He has also authored several other books on philosophy. He is multilingual and he has spoken on various topics on stress management, Indian philosophy, scriptures, ethics, morality, educational philosophy, law of karma, and lakhs of people have benefited by his talks. He's very popular among the youth, particularly. Welcome, Swamiji, to our session.
Jananim Sharadam Devi Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Dear devotees and Nitin, it is a good opportunity, and also I am always delighted to address the elite group or the sincere aspirants of the Vedanta through Advaita Academy or the Indica Moksha, so which is an annual event we all know. And today I will be speaking about body mind, from body mind to consciousness, the spiritual journey. Probably from body mind to consciousness, the spiritual journey, it is not very difficult for us to understand or probably to imagine. However, so I would like to probably tell like this. I will narrate a story, then it will be easy for me to take up the discussions. Once, two aspirants, they approach a teacher or the guru and they pay their respects. And the first person asks, Swamiji, how can I avoid the suffering? Because we all struggle, sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are unhappy, sometimes favorable situations, sometimes unfavorable situations, joy and sorrow, all these things keep coming. And quite a good amount of time, for various reasons, we are suffering. So his question was, how can I avoid suffering? How can I put a stop to this suffering? The monk, he heard all of his, a question and the conversation or his views, and he told, oh my dear, the answer is in the question itself. Then the fellow he was looking at him, looking at the guru, and he couldn't really understand what does the monk mean. Then the monk understood and he continued that, oh my dear, remove this I, eradicate this I, then you can be happy at all given point of times, or rather you can avoid the suffering, you can eradicate the suffering. Eradicate the I, remove the I, then you can eradicate the or remove the suffering. Okay. Then the second aspirant, he asked, Swamiji, how can I be happy at all times? Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are jovial, because when there is a success, when there is a favorable circumstances, when things are going on as we wish, as we desire, yes. But not all times it happens. We all know that. It is our day-to-day experience. So he wanted to know, how can I experience bliss, or how can I be happy at all given point of time? Because in fact, that is the goal of the Vedanta. What is the aim or the goal of the Vedanta? If you say Atyantika Dukkha Nivrutti and Paramananda Prapti. So the aim and the goal of the Vedanta is Atyantika Dukkha Nivrutti. Dukkha, sorrow, Nivrutti, removal of sorrow. That is the complete cessation of the sorrow. Then Paramananda Prapti, attaining or achieving the everlasting bliss. That is the goal of Vedanta. So probably in the same way, these two questions are also. So one is asking how to attain the Paramananda Prapti. The second question, the first question is how to have Atyantika Dukkha Nivrutti. So the second fellow asked, how can I be happy at all given point of times? How can I experience the bliss at all given point of time? Then again, the monk was very composed, and because he had experienced the truth probably, or he was well acquainted with the truth and understanding. Then with smilingly, he said, "Oh my dear, the answer is in your question itself." The fellow started scratching his head, and the guru told, or the monk told, my dear, experience that I, then you can be happy at all given point of time. Now, both started looking each other, their faces, and they started looking towards Guru. Because it looks like there is a confusion. It looks like there is a tautology. Because the first question was what? How to end the suffering? And the guru told, or the monk told, remove the I, loosening the I, or remove the I, then you can remove the suffering. Okay. And the second question is, how can I be happy at all times? And he's telling, experience that I, you can be happy at all given point of time. So it looks like, contradictory or tautology. Then they were scratching their heads. The guru or the monk started explaining, my dear, why do we suffer? Because we are attached to the world or to our body and mind. We have attached ourselves to the body and mind or to the world. That's why we are suffering. I have a body, but I am behaving as if I am a body. I have a mind, but I am behaving as if I am the mind. I have emotions, but I am behaving that I am the emotions. So, because we are attached to this body and mind complex, and we are attached to the world, that's why we are suffering. So when I say remove that I, eradicate that I means what? Remove that attachment to this body, mind, or the world, then it is the way to eradicate the suffering or to end the suffering. Then what was about the how to be happy at all times? Oh, just experience that I. When you say experience that I, this I is not referring to not the pseudo ego. The I is not referring to body mind complex. The I is not referring to the any feelings, thoughts, or emotions. This I is referring to that indestructible, eternal self. You can use the word, you can call it as Atman or Brahman or consciousness. That is what. So either experience that I, then you can be happy at all times, or remove the I, eradicate the I, pseudo ego, which is attached to this body and mind, then you can end the suffering. So then now these are the two paths which is given by Advaita Vedanta, Neti Neti and Soham. These are the two paths to reach the reality. But there can be so many isms or so many paths, so many shades of different paths, but put together at broad classification, these are the only two paths Advaita Vedanta is instructing us. Either neti neti, not this, or soham, this is, it is, or I am that, I am that, I am that. Now let us go little deeper. Now, I have a body. Yes, all of us we understand. All of you also understand. I have a mind. Yes. Just like for an example, I have got a cell phone, I have got a vehicle, two-wheelers, or I have got a four-wheelers, which is an instrument. Similarly, I have got a body. I have got a mind. So since I've got a mind and I've got thoughts and emotions, all of them are instruments given by the God or given by the nature. But however, I say, whose body it is, if you ask, oh, it is my body, or it is Shantivratananda's body. It is Shantivratananda's body, but I am not that body. So this body belongs to Shantivratananda, or this body is named as Shantivratananda, but I am not the body. Okay, this is the fact. And this is most of us we understand. But unfortunately, we are thinking that I am the body, or we are behaving as if I am the body. For an example, you ask, oh my dear, why you look morose? Why you look little pale? Oh, I am suffering with the fever. I am suffering from the fever. I am suffering from the cold. Now, really, are you suffering from the cold? Are you suffering from the fever? No. Your body is suffering from the cold. Your body is suffering from the fever, but you are not suffering. But here you have attached yourself to this body-mind complex. That is the reason I think, or you think, that I am suffering from the body. I'm sorry, I'm suffering from the cold. I am suffering from the fever. Now, body has got a fever. Body has got a body ache. Body has got a cold. So body has got pain, no doubt. But because of the attachment, the pain is translated into pain is intensified with suffering. I may not be able to avoid pain at all times, but I can avoid suffering at the most of the times. In all these great people, maybe like Shankaracharya, or Ramana Maharshi, or Swami Vivekananda, all these great Vedantic people, they also had health issues. They also had different type of problems, but they didn't suffer. Their body struggled, no doubt, but they didn't suffer. So this is where we have to understand. I think this reminds me a story of Swami Chandrasekharanda Saraswati, I think, or Chandrasekharanda Bharati. So you were supposed to do one anushtana, one particular, a big puja, but unfortunately his body was suffering with high fever. It was so high fever, everyone thought that he cannot do it. With this yogic power, he shifted the fever to the danda, whatever the danda they will be having, a monk. He shifted that and he finished his upasana or the puja, and again he took it back. That is one side is yogic power. Then when he took it, that whole danda was getting shivered, it seems. After finishing, he took it back. Then the people said, why are you taking it back? Then he said, no, because this body, because of his prarabdha karma, it is suffering. It has to suffer. If I don't do it, then it will come in different way. So Chandrasekharanda Bharati was very clear that this body is suffering. I am not suffering. Same thing we can see in the Ramana Maharshi's case. When Ramana Maharshi went to Tiruvannamalai and he was in the cave, when he was sitting and doing his penance or doing his Atmadhyana or meditation on the self or the self-enquiry, who am I? So because of the lack of sunlight, lack of the hygienic and few other things, his body was rotten. Some portion of his body was rotten. There were germs and etc. And quite this cowherd boys didn't understand, didn't know about this Ramana Maharshi and all. From outside, they thought someone is sitting or something is there, and they had threw stones and all. So there was a profuse bleeding on Ramana Maharshi's body, but Ramana Maharshi was experiencing that unalloyed bliss, and he was not bothered. So his body was suffering, no doubt. His body had a pain probably, but he didn't have any pain or suffering because Ramana Maharshi was completely detached from this body-mind complex. Ramana Maharshi was very clear that I have a body, but I am not the body. So this is very simple, but it is very profound. Many times we think that, oh, if I get good husband or wife, I am happy. If I get a good children, I am happy. If I get a good boss, I am happy. If I get this situation, all right, I will be happy. So our happiness is always depending upon either on the people, on the external situations, or on the external people or external things. Now the Vedanta is asking, it is the completely wrong notion. When you say Jagan Mithya, Jagat is Mithya, that's what means. Actually, don't depend on the world actually. Because the world, I mean, it is not in reality actually. Then why are you depending and why are you suffering? So the dependence has to be either on the God or on the self. Anyhow, so because we have attached to the body and we are suffering. For example, I am feeling so morose for whatever the reason may be. Are you feeling morose? Yes. Then I ask you, can you think little bit? Can you take a little pause? And can you think little bit? Are you really morose? Then you think. Probably you may say, oh no, I am morose means what? I am down with my feelings. I am down with emotions. So you are down because you are feeling down, because you are down with your emotions, feelings, thoughts. Now all of them belong to the mind. So your mind is down, but you are thinking you are down itself. Your mind has got some problem. Your mind has got some issue because of thoughts, because of the disturbed thoughts, because of the disturbed feelings, because of the disturbed emotions or whatnot. Your mind is disturbed, but you are thinking you are disturbed or I am disturbed, which is not true. So the sense of reality is with the body and mind complex. That's where we are suffering. So that's why the sadhu said, remove this I, eradicate this I, then you can cease the suffering, you can control the suffering, or you can eradicate the suffering. Means attachment to the body and mind, or I am the body and mind, thinking or behaving is what the root cause of all our problems. In the Advaita Vedanta, technically that is called avidya or ignorance. Why am I suffering? Why I am taking birth and birth after birth? Because of this ignorance, avidya. So what is that avidya? Thinking that I am this body and mind is what the avidya or ignorance. So I have a body, I have a mind, but I am not the body, I am not the mind. So this evolution has to come within every human being, then one can be happy. So what is the difference between the ignorant person and the enlightened person? I'm speaking from the spiritual angle, not from the mundane angle. He may be IAS officer or he may be a very noble laureate, but from spirituality point of view, he is illiterate or is ignorant. Why? He is attached to body and mind on the world. So what is the difference between the ignorant person and the really knowledgeable person or the realized person? So the ignorant person, though he knows, but he behaves that I am the body and mind, and the realized person behaves that I have a body and mind. I am the self, and self has got a body and mind. So body doesn't have a self, self has a body. That's what Advaita Vedanta is telling all of us. We think that body has the self. No, self has a body, self has a mind actually. So this body and mind is an instrument. So start looking the body and mind as an instrument, then you can use this instrument in the better way. Because when there is no attachment, you will be able to see that objectively. Because I'm able to see the cell phone means I am not the cell phone. Because the cell phone is an object and I am the subject. The subject is able to perceive the object. I'm able to see my body. That means I am not the body. And I am able to witness my feelings, thoughts, emotions, and changes. That means I am not the mind, and I am aware of the mind, and that awareness is what I. Okay. So when you say remove that I, eradicate that I, then you can eradicate the suffering means remove that attachment from the body and mind. I have a body, I am not the body and mind. Okay. Now, why this attachment is coming? Because I am thinking this body and mind is real, which is not. Because the body is undergoing the six changes, as Vedanta says. Asti exists. So I start with I in the form of in a mother's embryo. Asti jayate. Jayate is at some point of time I take birth. When I say I take birth, my body takes birth. I am not taking birth because I am sanatana. I am eternal. I am ancient. Asti, jayate, vardhate. then from childhood, then adolescent, teenager, then youth. Vardhate, so growth is there. Then aparanimate, lot of modifications, changes is undergoing in my body and mind. Okay, apakshiyate, then slowly deterioration starts. Maybe after the age of 40 or 50, slowly my health goes down. I get knee pains. My blood pressure is high. I might be become diabetic. There is a liver problem, lungs problem, or some health issues basically. So apakshiyate, at some point of time, Swami Shantivratananda is no more. Vinashyati, death comes. So did I die? I am dying. No, my body is dying. Only the subtle body is departing the physical body. That's all. Because I am the self eternal. So these changes is happening to this body and mind, whereas the Atman is what? It is eternal and it is always non-changing. It is a Nitya. When Ajo Nitya Shashvatoyam Purano Nahanyate Hanyamane Sharire. Aja, I am birthless. Nitya, I am eternal. And again it is a non-changing. Ajo Nitya Shashvata, again eternal. So I am not be killed, I cannot kill anyone, and I cannot be killed. So that is my real nature. So whereas body and mind is not so, isn't it? So I am not the body and mind, I have the body and mind. Okay. Then who am I? I am that indestructible, eternal self, Atman, which is what? Sat Chit Ananda. Existence, consciousness, bliss absolute. I am the subject and I am never the object. I am the eternal awareness. I am that eternal subject and I am never the object. So experience that I. I means here the self. That's why Swami Vivekananda beautifully describes what is individuality. Shantivratananda has one individuality. Nitin has got one individuality. Anuradha has got her own individuality. James has got his own individuality. Maybe Rajarshi has got his own individuality, for example. So every one of us, we have got our own individuality. That's how we think, which is pertaining to my body and mind, or my character, my traits, all these things. That is what our understanding is. Swami Vivekananda, in one of his lecture on Advaita Vedanta, he beautifully tells individuality means it is indivisibility. The real individuality, the real meaning of the individuality, the real definition of the individuality means what? It is indivisibility, which cannot be divided. That is what the self, because it is a subject, it is not the object. If it is object, it can be divided. My body can be divided, hands, legs, trunk portion, head portion, like that. So anything, for an example, even atom you say, it's such a microscopic, it can be divided: proton, neutron, electron, photon, or whatever. Now a tree can be divided: branches, trunk, the roots, flowers, twigs, and all. So anything, any object, however it can be microscopic, it can be divided. And the self and the consciousness is indivisible, because it is always one, and it is the subject and it is never the object. So shift the attachment from body and mind, or practice detachment from the body and mind, that I have a body, I am not the mind. By that one can eradicate the suffering or unhappiness. Now here in the double quotes you have to do that: with the given circumstances. Vedanta is not asking to change the world. Vedanta is asking to change your attitude, change your perception or approach. What is that? The Satyatva Buddhi has to shift from body mind to the consciousness, or the world to the God or the self. I will give a simple example, you will be able to understand. Like when we were children, probably this might have happened with many of you. So my father or a mother bring two toys. Maybe toys which is probably a pigeon. Okay, the pigeon toy made up of same material, same form, everything is same, maybe same color also, but one is in little smaller and one is little bigger. So in the size is little small and big, that's all, except that everything is same, equal. So the two pigeon toys were brought, and one was given to me and the other is given to my sister. Okay. the big pigeon was given to me, the big pigeon toy was given to me, and the small pigeon toy was given to my younger sister. Now, younger sister started crying, oh, I want that big pigeon. I said, no, I am elder, so I want, since being the elder, I want the big pigeon toy actually. Then she started crying. I never give my father or mother pleads. Oh, she's a young elder ones, or I mean younger ones. So you should give it. Why don't you give? Then I might have cried. I might have made some nonsense comments, or she might have made some nonsense comments. We might have cried. We might have received some scoldings, or we might have quarreled each other, brother and sisters. All these things we might have seen in our lives. Okay, after some time, then we forget. Then 20, 30, 40 years might be over, 2, 3 decades over. We are all grown up and all. The similar incident happens in the house, maybe with the children or with the any younger ones, basically. The similar story, the similar incident happens or occurs. Then we witness it. We don't cry. We don't shout. We don't get emotionally agitated, and we see it and we start laughing, remembering the age old story which happened in our own life. And the same or similar upadesha, the teaching, whatever we had received from our parents, we may tell same thing for the younger ones. Oh my dear, what is there in the toy? Whether it is a small or big, whether it is a black color or pink color, whether it is a pigeon or peacock, even so, what is there? It is a toy. Just use the toy for playing. You should play. You should not get suffering. You should not cry for these small things. No, my dear, it is a just toy. But the children won't listen. They won't listen to our upadesha, to our instructions. They might quarrel same way. Now, what is the difference here? Yes, we are grown up and they are younger ones. Is the difference? Physically grown is not only thing. My intellectual understanding, intellectual evolution has occurred here. So when I was small, the big toy is the reality, is the alpha and omega of the life at that given point of time. I thought that is the reason my mind was obsessed with that. I want that and that alone. If not, I will be losing the entire world from me or with me. Now the notion of reality has been shifted, and we know whether it is a small or big toy, it doesn't make any big sense. So the notion of reality has been loosened there, or it has disappeared. That's why we don't get carried over. Isn't it? So the Satyatva Buddhi is existing in this world or in this body and mind. That's why we are all suffering and we are getting carried over, or any situation is able to disturb our minds. In all the great people, starting from Adi Shankaracharya, Ramana Maharshi, maybe Saint Francis of Assisi, and all these great star worlds, the spiritual illuminaries, they also had to face a lot of difficulties, but they were not moved, they were not disturbed. Why? Because they are very clearly, they are aware this jagat is like a swapnavat, like a dream. So the notion of reality doesn't exist neither in the body and mind nor in this mundane world. The reality stays in where? The reality stays in the self, and Atman alone. That's where they were not carried over. They were not disturbed. For example, when Adi Shankaracharya was approached by Kapalikas, and they said, oh, can you come and we will offer you so that we will get lot of siddhis or lot of powers. Adi Shankaracharya would have told, he would have avoided. And he had a lot of spiritual powers. He could have cursed them. He could have driven them. Or he could have said, oh my dear, I am a great person. I can do many things and I should do many things. World needs me. So no, for these small things I cannot do. I don't want to do. He could have given many reasons also. But he said, all right, by this, at least if I am able to help someone, I will feel blessed. And he was ready to go. And anyhow, his own disciple, who used to do Narsimha Upasana, he prayed, and a lion came, and the Kapalika was killed by that lion, and Shankaracharya was saved. We all know that the story here. But the story, we all know that there, what is the interesting point there one should notice, Shankaracharya was very clearly aware that he is not the body and mind, he is the indestructible self or the consciousness. As a result, situations didn't change him or didn't bother him. Similar incident we can see in the Swami Vivekananda's life. when Swami Vivekananda was traveling in the Himalayas. Imagine 130 years before. Himalayas, in a dense forest is traveling where you cannot find people easily. And he had taken a vow that I will not even beg. Monks, we beg and we eat. I mean, we take the food in the Himalayas and all. So I will not beg. If God willing, let him provide the food. Then he was traveling in the in the Himalayas, in the forest. For 2 or 3 days, he didn't get any food. No food was provided by anyone, and he's traveling on foot. Third day, he was tired. His body was tired, no doubt. At some point of time, he encounters the tiger or lion. He could have ran, he could have jumped into some place to safeguard him, or he could have climbed a tree or whatever. He said, "Oh, my dear tiger, you are also hungry. I am also hungry, or my body is also hungry. I don't know what is God's will is waiting. Whether I will get a food or not, I'm not sure. But please come and take this body as your food so that I will feel happy that I was able to serve a being, serve a jiva." And not only he sat, and he sat and in a meditation, and he allowed the tiger to come and eat. And miraculously, or the gods willing, the tiger moved away. I mean, it went away, and Swami Vivekananda was spared. Then after some time, when Swami Vivekananda opened his eyes, there was no tiger there. Swami Vivekananda got up and he continued to walk. The same day or next day, then a person came and he fed him, saying that he had a vision of his chosen deity. Chosen deity ordered him to take the food for you, and you will be in such and such a dense forest. That's how he told. Now you see, Swami Vivekananda, when he encountered the lion and the tiger, he was not fearful. He always says, the message of the Upanishads is what? Abhi, abhi, abhi. Be fearless, be fearless, be fearless. So he was fearless. How? Not because he had some weapons, because he was physically was strong or mentally strong. No, not the reason. He was spiritually strong. So he was convinced, because, and of course he had an experience of Nirvikalpa Samadhi by that time. So he was very, very well aware that I am not the body and mind. I am that indestructible self, Atman or the Brahman or consciousness. So this notion of reality has to be loosened. Our notion of reality has to be shifted from the world to the self, world to the God. Then I can be happy at all given point of times. So you can remember the toy story. We are carried over with the mind. We are carried over with the body. We are carried over with this world because it is so real for us. We are thinking that that's so real, and we are reacting. We are suffering, we are enjoying, and we are having all different type of experience. The moment if shift this notion of reality from the body and mind and the world to the self or the God, then this so much problem, so much reactions subdues in the life. So we have to apply Advaita Vedanta in our day-to-day life. My Gurudev, my teacher, used to tell always, by studying Advaita Vedanta, really in detail or in depth, and you start putting into practice, you will get an attitude. You will develop an attitude. What is that attitude? You will travel from what to so what. What to so what. What did she tell me? Did she tell about me like this? What did he told? I mean, did he do like this to me? So we all express all our emotions, feelings, and all as if it is true, so much and all. If someone, I mean, the real Advaitin, when he hears all these mundane things, trivial things, and all, he said, "Is it so? So what?" So he will not be cared. When Sri Krishna was criticized for no reasons, very, front and back, and so such a bad criticisms and all, when he heard, he was not moved because he was that real Yogishvara. He was very clear, he was very well aware that who is he or what is he. So similarly, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was approached by one of the family priest of the rich landlord called Mathurnath Vishwas. Mathurnath Vishwas was the disciple of the Sri Ramakrishna, and this landlord was ever ready to provide whatever Sri Ramakrishna wishes or wills or asks. And even this Mathurnath Vishwas offered Sri Ramakrishna a good amount of wealth, huge land and all. Sri Ramakrishna had denied. So this poor priest, and he wanted some, riches or the wealth and all. So he approached once Sri Ramakrishna in a private, and he asked, Oh, I see that our landlord Mathurnath Vishwas, has become very fan of you, and whatever you ask, he is ready to give, how much ever it costly may be. So please tell me what mantra you used, how you are able to, apply the charm on him so that he has become your follower, or he has become your slave. Sri Ramakrishna, he was in ecstatic mood or whatever. He said, "Oh, my dear, I don't know anything. So it's all mother's will." Then that fellow, the priest, he pressed it time and again. "Oh no, please tell me, please tell me, please tell me." Sri Ramakrishna said, "No, I have not put any charm, I don't know any black magic, and I have not put any charm, I have not used any mantra on him. So he has got some devotion towards me, he has got some respect towards me, so he wants to serve me, that's all. And whatever is necessary, at some point of time, I may ask, but otherwise, I have not done anything." Then that fellow, he got so much angry and annoyment, and even he kicked Sri Ramakrishna and he left. Basically, he kicked him and all. Now, Sri Ramakrishna had such a spiritual powers, he could have cursed him. He could have reduced him into ashes. He was such a powerful, he was an incarnation, God incarnate. But he kept quiet and he left. And he had forgotten him. Now, why he didn't react? Was he not physically strong? Was he not mentally strong? No, he was. And he had all the, powers to give a retarding reply. He had all the powers to take a tit for tat. He didn't do it. Why? Because he knew that it is nonsense and it is out of time, or it is a waste of time, or whatever it may be. So like this, even Swami Vivekananda was, threatened, life threatenment was there during his itinerant monk days, and when he came to West while preaching Vedanta, and even a poison coffee was tried to give, and they wanted to kill Swami Vivekananda. Character assassination was made. So many things Swami Vivekananda had to face. But all this time, in all these circumstances, Swami Vivekananda was quite composed and peaceful, and his mind was always soaring to the greatest heights. He wanted to plunge himself in the meditation or experience that Nirvikalpa Samadhi at given point of time. So his mind was not bothered about all these things. Why is it possible? Oh, he's a God, he is a God incarnate, or he's a great prophet, or whatever, great monk. It is possible, we think. Yes, no doubt, he is all of them. But because he's the greatest Advaita Vedantin, he had put the Vedanta into practice. As a result, he was very clear: I am the self and I have a body and mind. I am the self, I have the body and mind. So that was very clear for him, and he had a conviction and he had an experience. As a result, he was not carried over by all these mundane affairs. Sometimes devotees say, "Swamiji, when we are hearing your talks, when we attend your classes, it becomes so real, so clear." Yes, but after coming out from the class or going out from the ashram, when we get into the life, or when we get into day-to-day dealings, then our Vedanta goes away, or we forget it, we start reacting, our mind gets carried over, our mind gets disturbed. Why? I say yes, that is probably it is possible because of the long association with the mundane affairs and etc. You have to keep on practice. So I think Niralamba Upanishad tells very beautifully, "Tapa iti cha brahma satyam jagan mitye aparoksha gnanina brahmad aishwarya asha siddhi sankalp bija santapam tapaha." It gives a beautiful explanation of the austerity, spiritual austerity. What is spiritual austerity, you know? Spiritual austerity is that austerity where the fire of transcendental knowledge, which teaches Brahman is real and this mundane world is an illusion, burns away all the desires to have powers and affluences like Brahma and others. So this is what we need, a spiritual austerity. For that we have to have a control of the mind. Basically, sadhan chatushtaya sampannata, we say. Nitya nitya vastu viveka, that is vairagya. Then samadhamadi shatka sampatti. Then ya amutra palabhoga di viraga and mumukshatva. So I always say 4 Ds. Desire, intense desire to liberate, intense desire to seeking self-knowledge, then discrimination between real and non-real things, then discipline, that is samadhamadi shatka sampatti. So discipline, desire, discrimination one should have, and dispassion about this mundane, the worldly pleasures, and the pleasures of this mundane world, and above worlds or below worlds. These 4Ds, one whoever practices, then he will be established in the truth. We know all these truths. You say, oh Swami, we know all these things, but we are unable to put into practice. If you ask why we are not able to, because we have not achieved these 4Ds. Means sadhana chatushtaya sampannata has not been practiced from us for a long time, or we have not established in this sadhana chatushtaya sampannata, a basic necessity for any Advaita Vedantin or the Gnana Yogin. As a result, we have not got Gnana Nishta Yogyata. Because of that, our studies may not be having the full desired effects. Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, when he heard 7 or 9 times, he understood and he experienced Ahamasmi Brahma. So we may hear 7,000 times, 7 lakh times, still we are unable to experience or unable to remove the ignorance. Why? Because sadhana chatushtaya sampannata is not there. So that's where spiritual austerity comes into picture. So one has to practice this. So from that, you will travel from what to so what. And that immediate effect will be, you will stop reacting. He scolded me, she scolded me. I am so much disturbed. And I will be waiting for tit for tat. I'm not saying that you should keep quiet and all, but you should respond. What if should I really react to this or not? If so, when, how, why? So in a calculated way, one has to respond. Instead of responding, we keep on reacting. Why? Because instinctive behaviors, that's all. It's animal behaviors actually. So if you are a gentleman or a gentlewoman, you cannot react, you have to respond. All the great people responded if at all, if they had to do, but they never reacted. So if you practice Advaita Vedanta in your day-to-day life, in your every step, in your action, in your work, in your family life or a professional life or whatever, then you will stop reacting and you will start responding. And not only that, when you say Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, the Brahman alone is real and the world is an illusion. What does it mean? Then you stop changing the world. We are always busy in changing the world. Oh, my parents should behave themselves properly. Or my children should behave properly. My husband should behave properly. My wife should behave in such and such a way so that we will not have a problem. My boss, my juniors, seniors, neighbors, are the leaders of our country. So we all expect the change should come out so that we will not have a problem. The world will have a systematic way and all. It may be true to a certain extent, but that is not in your hands. And Vedanta doesn't ask us to change the world. Vedanta asks us to change oneself. So that is what the efficacy and the beauty of the Advaita Vedanta. And the dignity of the human being is restored by studying Advaita Vedanta or by knowing the Atma Vidya. The greatest possible way to establish the dignity of the human being is what Advaita Vedanta. And it is one of the best base for even to do service. In the present day women empowerment we speak, and the service activities and all, we keep on speaking it, isn't it? So Advaita Vedanta is the greatest thing by which one can do the best service. That's what Swami Vivekananda has given the lectures on practical Vedanta. There he speaks about all these things. Okay. Now, 1 or 2 points. When you say Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Na Parah, what do you mean by Satya and Mithya? These are the 2 technical terms we can keep on discussing for hours together, but I will take a simple a simple definition, and I will try to expose the philosophical portion. So in the Advaita Vedanta, Satya means reality or the truth. So what is the definition of this Satya, Satyatva? So that is Trikala Abhadita Satya. If one has to be real, or if something has to be real, if something has to be truth, that should be Trikala Abhadita Satya. Now, Shantivratananda has a body. 10 years before Shantivratananda's body was there? Yes. 20 years before? Yes. 40, 50 years before? Yes. Before that? No. Okay. Now is it there? Yes. After 10 years, maybe 20, 30 years, maybe 50 years afterwards. Oh no, definitely I don't think, no. Then, so at given point of time, in the given point of time only, Shantivratananda's body is there. Before that, prior to that, it is not there. Then afterwards, it is not there. That means it is not only Anitya, it is also Mithya. It is Asatya, Anitya and Mithya. Whereas about the Brahman, the consciousness. So is it there at the present? Yes. Yesterday? Yes. Year before? Yes, it was there. 10 years before? Yes. Century before? Yes. Maybe a millennium before? Yes. 10 millenniums before? Yes. Okay. Tomorrow will it be there? Will it survive? Yes. Will it survive the death, or will it survive the pralaya, we say? Yes. Then after hundreds of years or millenniums or centuries? Yes. So it was there always, it is there always, and it will be there always. So Trikala Abhadita, it can never be negated at any given point of time. That is why Satya. So when we say Brahma Satya, Brahma means here Brahman, Brahman is real or Brahman is the truth, means it is Trikala Abhadita Satya. It was there always, it is there always, it will be there always. That is eternal truth. So when you say Jagan Mithya, one is Anitya, we all understand that it is continuously changing and all that we understand. One more is Bhaditatva. Here Mithya means it can be negated. The mundane world, whichever is available for us in the Jagrada Avastha, it is not available in the Swapna Avastha, in the dream state, and it is not available in the Sushupti, in the deep sleep. So each state of consciousness is negating the other experience, either with your body and mind or with your world also. So there is a Bhaditattva. This is one of the easiest way and the best way, the best methodology by which we can establish the Mithyatva. So the Mithyatva of the world is because it can be negated. Whatever is available in one state of consciousness, in avastha, in one level of consciousness or state of consciousness, that is not available in the other state of consciousness. That's why Jagat is Mithya. So when you understand the Brahma Satya and Jagan Mithya, then whatever is Satya, you try to acquire it, you try to get it, you try to have it, and whatever is Mithya, you don't try for that. I will ask you, oh my dear, you struggle for that, and but that is not real anyhow. If I say, then they say, Swami, then why are you asking me to struggle for which it is not true, which is not real? Isn't it? Oh, there is something unreality for the game's sake. Can we struggle? Then you say, better not, Swami, I have got better things to do. Because when you there is no notion of reality, when there is no reality in any endeavor, or sorry, in anything, then we don't struggle to get it. But unfortunately, we have confused ourselves and we are getting obsessed. Just for an example, a film, or in India especially, the serials. Serials are going serially and we are spending good amount of time looking into it. Sometimes there are huge conflicts, war happening in the houses because you are not allowed to see the serial or there was a disturbance. What nonsense, how pity it is, isn't it? Every one of us, if you take aback and think, we all know that it is just a drama. They are being paid and the artists are enacting. They might have beautifully enacting, no doubt. We will appreciate their power of enacting, but it is not real. Neither the hero is in problem, nor the heroine is in problem, nor their parents or the children, but we get carried over. Mithyatva. The moment you understand that that's all just a drama, just it is a play, that there is no reality, then you are not getting carried over. The same thing, it happens to our life also. We are struggling, we are facing so many ups and downs in our life, loss and failure we are facing, all these things fine. But because of the notion of reality is creating intense pain, intense suffering in our life. So the notion of reality has to shift from matter and mind to the consciousness, from the body and mind to the consciousness, from the asat or from the mithya to satya, or from the world to the Brahman or the God. Then what happens? You can eradicate or you can stop all type of sufferings. You can avoid all types of sufferings and you can experience the bliss at all given point of time. So stop changing the world. Don't depend on the world. We need to depend on the world for our survival, no doubt. For an example, I need a food, I need clothes, I need shelter, I need security to a certain extent, which is required for the existence of body and mind. The dependence is okay and it is required, no doubt. But more than that, whatever is required, more than the dependence is like a poison. We have to pay heavy price. I give a simple example always. We purchase a mobile phone, cell phone. So since I have purchased the mobile phone with my hard-earned money, so-called, okay, so that is an instrument, okay, and I am the master of it. I am supposed to decide how to use it. But in due course of time, the mobile is deciding how I should do or what I should do. So we have become the slaves and the servant of the cell phone, isn't it? That's why it is called cell phone. Like we have got a cell in the police station or in the jail. So like that, our minds are being bound by this cell phone. How pity and how really, ridicule or even funny thing you see. You purchased a mobile phone for some activities and for some reason, for some functional aspect, but we have become obsessed with that. The present modern day scientific analysis research is telling in the world, especially youngsters are obsessed with the mobile. If you don't give food also, okay, they are ready to leave. But if they don't have a mobile or internet, they can go panic, they can become really disturbed or whatever. So much dependency on this, over dependency on the mobile, over dependency on the world, over dependency on the external things is what the root cause of our problem. That is what Advaita Vedanta is telling. We need money, no doubt. We need world to survive, no doubt. That dependency, that much, acquiring the money or whatever is all good. But over dependency on all of them and deciding or thinking that that alone is real. And my alpha and omega of my life is earning money, earning name and fame, power and position alone is creating the problem with all of us. That is the one side, extreme side. The other is the because of the notion of reality. The body is real, mind is real, the world is real. Because of this reality, the satyatva buddhi, which is existing in the body and mind in the world according to one's own, we are suffering, we are struggling, and we are experiencing all these problems in the day-to-day life. And not only that, and we are also we are also having this cycle of births and death again and again. So that is what samsara chakra we say. Samsara. There is no sara in that, but again and again we are, that is like, it is a whirlpool, like the wheel, like it is again and again it is happening. The cycle of birth and death. If you want to stop that, just like the chain will be in the bicycle, if you break it, the cycle cannot go further. How much ever you may pedal, but the cycle cannot go further. Why? Because the chain has been de-linked or has been broken. So similarly, if you want to break the chain, the cycle of samsara, that is birth and death, then you have to remove this ignorance, destroy that ignorance. So what is that ignorance? That I am real. Means I am real means what? My body is real, my mind is real, world is real. No, body, mind and the world is unreal. It is an appearance or illusion. The Atman and self, that alone is real. That alone is Sat, and everything is what? Mithya, an appearance or an illusion. So the Atman alone is real, the Trikala Abhadita Satya, and everything is what? Bhaditatva. You can take any example. It may be there for million years, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million years is there, but afterwards it will not be there. So this Bhaditatva is one of the very interesting point which scriptures have given. So try to think, try to meditate on that, contemplate on this, and do the Vedantic contemplation, Vedantic studies more and more, so that you can be happiest person. By studying Advaita Vedanta, by practicing Advaita Vedanta, your bank balance may not get increased. Your wallet may not get increased. You may not get better job, or you may not get any in office promotions and all, but you can be happy at all given point of times, whether you are rich or poor, whether you are healthy or unhealthy, whether there is a favorable circumstances or not, but you can be happy. All these things, however, the life comes, we have to understand, we have to accept, we have to work for our betterment, no doubt, and betterment in the mundane world, no doubt, but you need not to suffer. Pain may be there, but pain may be coming and going, but suffering is an optional actually. So we don't differentiate between the pain and the suffering. For example, I fell down and there was a leg fracture. Because of that, definitely there will be pain, no doubt. So, but because of my attachment to the body, the suffering has increased. If you don't have attachment, if you are detached from your body and mind, then will not there be pain? Pain will be there, but there will be no suffering. The same thing we can see in Sri Ramakrishna's case itself. He had a throat cancer, but his own disciples who were there with him, who served them, they say, we never saw even a day morose face with our Gurudev, Sri Ramakrishna. So his body was suffering, no doubt. His body was reduced to just skin and just bones, that's all. Even just taking little water or even little liquid food was too difficult for him. Maybe 2 3 spoons of just soup taking was quite difficult for him. Such health issue was there, but he was happy, he was smiling, he was always able to meditate, he was able to think about God, he was able to speak about God, and he was experiencing the bliss at all given point of time. He was not suffering. His body had some pain, his body has to undergo whatever the, because he had accepted the sins of the people, so he had accepted the prarabdha of different people, so his body had to undergo all that, but he was happy at all given point of time. So this is the greatness of Advaita Vedanta. So you will travel from what to so what. You will travel from Buddha to Buddha. By practicing Advaita Vedanta, you from traveling from Buddha, ignorant person, to enlightened person called Buddha. So enlightened person will become, means I will understand the reality and I will not be disturbed. No one can shake me. No one can disturb me. So that state one can achieve by knowing and by understanding and by practicing the principles or the truth which has been discussed in the scriptures. That's what Advaita Vedanta is trying to tell. So we should understand, we should study more and more these things, and we should put into practice. Why? Because Advaita Vedanta tells very clearly, by studying Advaita Vedanta, you will get Atyantika Dukkha Nivrutti and Paramananda Prapti, cessation of complete suffering. I had some problems. I got a money, I got a promotion, or the situations from unfavorable circumstance to favorable circumstance, it got, changed. Then I may be happy, but that happiness, that joy is always temporary or momentary, isn't it? So, and dukkha nivrutti was also temporary. Here, atyantika dukkha nivrutti means complete cessation of suffering and Paramananda Prapti. It is not a small joy, little joy, attainment of everlasting bliss. That is the goal and the aim of Advaita Vedanta. So we should understand this and try to think of more and more that I am the self, I am not the body and mind, I have a body and mind. So that you can be happy at all given point of times, and you can avoid, or you can come out from the suffering. So peace and the happiness is a deliberate choice. One has to make it. May Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swami Vivekananda, and Adi Shankaracharya bless all of us so that we shall be able to understand this great truth, and we shall put into practice so that we can be happy at all given point of times. And thank you, Nitin, for giving this wonderful opportunity. Jai Ram Krishna.
Thank you so much, Swamiji, for leading us through this journey of what to so what, is really what Advaita Vedanta is, and wonderful. Thank you once again very much. Viewers, we have many such wonderful talks. Tomorrow at 7 a.m. India time, Satyan Chidambaram will be talking to us about the nature of knowledge and its means. So please do join us.